Let's pretend you were invited to a Halloween party. Oh, you were invited to a Halloween party. And you're vegan? Are you sure you're not just vegetarian? And it's not like a work thing, it's with friends. Huh. No, it's just normally that when you're vegan, you don't really have... Never mind. Hi, I'm Val from Very Vegan Val, and today I'm gonna help you with some easy vegan Halloween costumes. For this first costume, all you're going to need is a large box, some paint, and some scissors. First things first, I'm gonna cover my work surface because I am a very messy painter. We wanna make the whole box white. I know I have enough paint because this is a large area. And I don't want it to be like just super white. So I'm gonna try and add tiny bits of all the other colors because I don't have brown. If I had brown, I'd just add a little bit of brown. All right, I've got that color, whitish. If I had more paint, I'd do more coats. Now the real reason I wanted to paint with a sponge is I thought I could use it to get some spongy texture. I think it works. Excellent. I'm gonna set it aside and let it dry. Our box is pretty close to dry at this point, so the last step that remains is we're gonna make a hole in this side, a hole in this side, and a hole in the top for our heads. It's terrible, isn't it? You guys, I meant to put a hole in this side, but I put it in what was going to be the front. So, we'll see if this works. Check it out, guys. I'm every vegan's favorite, tofu! Da, 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 Halloween. Oh. Now, since I'm dressed up as tofu, I thought I'd share one of my favorite tofu-isms, if you will. When I was growing up as a vegetarian, back in the early 2000s, I used to often hear the fact that men who eat a lot of tofu will grow boobs. And I believed it because we didn't have like Google so readily available to just fact check things, plus I was a kid. But if tofu caused people to grow boobs, it would be crazy expensive and it would be highly marketed towards women. But it's cheap. Cheap source of protein. I'm a cheap source of protein. And I don't make you grow boobs. Okay, next costume. This next costume is a great last minute option. Go to your local thrift store or dollar store or whatever and get yourself a pair of devil horns. If you want to be fancy, you could get yourself a tail too. And you're gonna print out a bunch of these, which, if the internet is correct, is a gluten molecule. It's definitely possible the internet is not correct, so feel free to correct me. I'm just cutting around the shape vaguely. Then I'm just gonna grab some tape, stick it to the back of our gluten molecule, and stick that to my body. And that's it. Hi, I'm Satan. Nice to meet me. Gluten-free vegans, I'm your worst nightmare. Next, we're gonna do a costume where you can really let your creativity shine. First step is to dress up like a vegetable, any vegetable. I found this traffic cone costume at a thrift store. So I think it's obvious that we're gonna turn it into a carrot. So for that, I'm gonna need to turn this bit here orange. Some more messy painting time. I'm not a neat painter. All right, this time we're gonna need a combination of yellow and red. Wow, this looks bad. Check it out. I have a carrot. You can see that I ran out of paint, and even where I did paint it, it doesn't look good. But bear with me and use your imagination and your creativity. And I know you may be thinking to yourself, okay, so you're a badly done carrot. What's scary about that? Well, I bet you're not really vegan, because every vegan knows check the ingredients first. Go on, look closer. Here's everything you're going to need for our final costume. Firstly, a large gray sheet or a large amount of gray fabric. Scissors and some sewing tools, in this case a sewing machine. Elastic. A pile of sticks. A glue gun, which is in the other room. And a stuffed pig. I have been having to hide this from my dog all week so he doesn't take it. Fold it neatly into 4 quarters. So we have this section in the center, which should have 4 layers of fabric. Now we're gonna take a measurement, so this fits our body nicely, and we're gonna measure around our hips at the widest point. And then we're gonna go find a circle skirt calculator. I'll link one in the description. And the only thing we actually need to worry about is the waist measurement and the radius for our waist cutout. And like I said, we're not actually gonna use our waist measurement. We're gonna use our hip measurement because we wanna just be able to slip it on over our hips without putting in a zipper. So, once you have that number, you're gonna mark all around here and make a circle. And then just cut along the fabric. Where those marks are. And that right there is going to be your waist measurement. Now for your length, I'm just gonna go here because this is about where it looks like the fabric ends, and chop it in what roughly looks like a nice smooth arc, but what probably isn't. But guess what? We don't care. This is a Halloween costume. And this is going to be your skirt. The next thing we're gonna do is take our elastic, measure it to be about the size of your waist. This is a bit smaller than the size of my waist, but I had apparently already cut it, so I'm just gonna use it. It does stretch after all. We're gonna take it over to our sewing machine, and we're just gonna bring the 2 ends together and sew back and forth a few times. And then this will be your waistband. If you wanted to, you could skip all of this and just buy a gray skirt. The next thing you're gonna do is mark your waistband into quarters. We're gonna divide the waistband of our skirt into 4 pieces as well. And we're going to pin the waistband to the skirt at those 4 places. Right sides together if your fabric has a right side. We've got it pinned, and now we're just gonna sew the waistband to the skirt, stretching as we go to make it fit. And here we have our skirt with our gathered waistband. So for something like this that's a costume, I don't really see a point in hemming it, but if you are planning on wearing it again, by all means, go ahead and hem it at this time. Now choose which side of your skirt is gonna be the front. And this is when our sticks come in. I'm gonna break it into some pieces. S, O, and then another S. That works for me. Let's go get our glue gun. Whoa. That cheeky dog took my pig. I think we all know what Doug would do if he was on a deserted island with a pig. But I think you get the idea. That is it, guys. We've made it to the end of the video. And oh boy, do crafting YouTubers make this look so much easier than it is. Just like paint everywhere. Nothing's turning out how I want. I'm having to change my camera angle so many times just so that you guys can see what I'm doing. And honestly, I mean, I haven't checked the footage yet, but I would not be shocked if you guys can't see what I'm doing. Nevertheless, you made it with me all the way through, so thanks so much for being here. If you want to tell me which your favorite costume is in the comments, or some other funny or punny vegan Halloween costumes, I would love to hear them. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you subscribe so you can be here next time we post. Thanks, bye. Thank you.